Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Salute to Industry. I'm here with, I believe you're Air Force veteran. Is that correct? Air
Yes.
Force veteran Nikki Yazzie, working with Swift Transportation. So, Nikki, thanks for taking time out and hopping on the video with me. I know we've had some technical difficulties, but you made it. You're here. I love it. Thank you for being flexible and sticking with it. So let's dive in. Let's talk about Swift Transportation. Just introduce us to the company and a little bit about the industry, the transportation industry, if you will.
Well, thank you, Don, for having me. I'm glad that you guys invited Swift here so we could talk about our opportunities to hire veterans and military spouses all across the country. Swift is the largest full carrier truck operating company in the United States. We have a huge footprint, which is great for service members, transitioning service members. We're located all over the United States, and we offer all lines of business, dry van, reefer, intermodal. We have a large opportunity to present a huge portfolio of opportunities for veterans and military spouses who are looking for post-military career success.
Yeah, and it's not just the trucking part too, right? I mean, it's the full suite. You've got management, you've got logistics, you've got warehousing. I'm sure you've got the packing side of the house. So, being across all the states, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there. I'm sure, just in the industry as a whole, but specifically with Swift. I mean, you guys are a billion-dollar company, right? So you have a large footprint. I love how you put it, but you are very, very big. But let's talk a little bit about the industry. We've had COVID 2019, 2020. See, that's how bad 2020 was. I even forgot it. We're in 2021. For those watching, this is January 20th, 2021, Inauguration Day. Hey, welcome to the party, Mr. Biden. So talk to us about how you guys are coming out of COVID as we're tapering off in the industry. Like, what's going on with you guys a little bit? Has it impacted your business? Are you guys still, where's the hiring at with you guys in a, a brief, broad stroke? I know there's a lot of details there, but yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. And as you know, I mean, 2020 for many industries and many people obviously took probably everybody by surprise. And it was no different in the transportation industry. And I definitely hope, just as someone who's coming from the transportation industry, I hope what we saw over the last 12 months really gave a new perspective and appreciation to everybody out there who doesn't even realize that the transportation industry touches all of our lives every single day. Every time you order from Amazon or make a Target run,
Right.
or you go to Walmart or whatever your local grocery store is, all of that got there by the essential workers of truck drivers. And at
Right.
Swift, we have the most professional truck drivers out there on the road. We're very proud of our driving professionals. And I just want to say thank a trucker next time you're out there, because they really did a lot to adapt and overcome in the previous 12 months. So just like everything, it was kind of a day by day curve, and we had to make a lot of adjustments on how we did business, but we knew we had to keep America moving. We had to keep America stocked. We had to get everything out there to everybody, from groceries to medical supplies. All of that still has to keep moving. And I obviously, coming into the transportation industry, already had a different perspective of what we do, as far as a profession at large, but definitely within the last 12 months, you get a whole new appreciation for it. So, because this 2020 stretched coast to coast. So we certainly want to hire veterans and military spouses. If you're currently serving in Guard and Reserve, we need drivers coast to coast. So, if you're out there and you're looking for employment, especially maybe, there are people out there who unfortunately lost their job this year. And we hope to be that answer for you and your family if you need gainful employment.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, it's a great pivot into what I wanted to cover with you next, and that's the apprenticeship program and Swift Academy. So this is the entree, if you will, to get into Swift. I mean, you don't have to go through these programs. I mean, if you're a driver already, you got a CDL license, you're hiring. You're hiring for staff and stuff as well. But let's cover the programs and talk to people and educate people a little bit about what those are. So if we can cover, let's jump into this one, the apprenticeship program first, and we'll jump into the academy.
Sure. So, well, actually, I'm going to reverse those if you don't mind, because our academy is if you don't yet have any sort of training. So,
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you are a veteran who once served, whether you were active duty, Guard, or Reserve. If you're currently serving in the Guard or Reserve, we want to honor your military service. But also for a spouse or dependent, our academies offer 100% full military scholarships for all of those groups. So active duty, any branch of the armed forces, Guard or Reserve, spouse and dependent, we will pay 100% for you to get your CDL training. So if you've been thinking about getting your CDL, but you're not quite sure how to make that happen, we have academies located all across the country. In addition to our own Swift academies, we also have a lot of joint partnerships with different schools across the country. So if you contact Swift and you talk to one of our recruiters, we're going to be able to get you in touch with somebody who can help you get your training so you can find gainful employment. Even if you're transitioning out of the military and you just want this to be a plan B for right now because you're not quite sure what you want your post-military career to look like, come to Swift for 12 months. And that's where I kind of want to chat about the apprenticeship program. That is something set by the VA and the Department of Labor. And with Swift being a partner in that, what that means, if you are a GI Bill qualified veteran and you are a non-experienced driver, so this is perfect for a transitioning service member or someone who still has their active GI Bill benefits, contact the VA, find out what percentage of your education benefits are. Once you contact us here at Swift, we're going to go over those benefits with you and get you enrolled in the program. So what that means is for 12 months, in addition to your paycheck from Swift, you're also going to get a paycheck from the VA, which is awesome. Who doesn't want to make more money, especially in this day and age, especially if you're a transitioning service member? The rates are set by the VA. It's tax-free income that you get a pocket. So it's really helpful if you have an active GI Bill and you haven't done anything with it yet and you're just not sure what you want to do. Just drive for 12 months, learn about the industry, earn your VA benefits, because you as a military service member, you earn those benefits. Don't leave them out there on the table.
Well, and I think we reimagine what the trucker is in today's environment, right? And my dad was part of the industry back in the 70s. They were doing long haul, but he was saying they're doing like 18-hour days. Before they had all the logs and the records that they keep today, we can only drive so long, right? And you have to stop. So I think in my mind, I have a perception of that because that's my dad, right? I mean, I knew him growing up like that, but I think it's different these days. I mean, I hear about people in the reserves going to college while they're doing this, so maybe that's not their end all be all. Maybe you want to be a driver and you like long haul, you like short haul, you got regional routes, all of the above. So it's kind of what you want. You can kind of carve out your own little niche, it sounds like.
I'm glad that you mentioned college, because I think for a lot of us who served in the military, I know for us in the Air Force, education was something that was highly encouraged, that all of us participated in. And a lot of us joined the military because that was how we helped pay for college. At Swift, we also offer college to our drivers through Southern New Hampshire University. So we provide that extra benefit to our drivers. So let's take a veteran who's currently in that process of transitioning out of the military or currently serving in the Guard or Reserve. If getting their college education is important to them, they have their GI Bill, they're not quite sure really where they want their career to take them, come and drive for Swift for 12 months. Get your GI Bill benefits because you earned it. Let us help you pay for college. And 12 months from now, you could move into another area of Swift. You could go into logistics management. You could be a driver leader. There's so many other opportunities within Swift. And obviously, I feel very strongly that veterans bring a lot of leadership skills to the table. We want to see you fill those other positions in Swift. So it's not uncommon for drivers to start out driving and then move into other parts of the company, which is great. So use your GI Bill, come drive for 12 months, go to school while you're doing that. And then hopefully you'll want to stay on with Swift because you'll discover what a wonderful company it is and what a great work culture we have. And then, or maybe it might just be your stepping stone to your next opportunity. So there's lots of opportunities like that for veterans.
Yeah, you touched on something there I want to pick at a little bit more. So, I mean, you could really stack. I mean, if you have retirement, if you have disability, you could have the VA compensation going. You could have the school going on. So plus your pay from driving on top of that. So you could really, boost your income if you're doing this right, or if you're really kind of approaching from the right angle, depending on what you want in life and everything.
Absolutely. I will tell you, when I separated from the Air Force, it took me a while to find a job that really, one, understood what skills I was bringing to the table as a former military member, but also was compensating me equal, if not better, to what I was getting while I was in the military. You know, it's
Right.
hard out there once you leave that bubble of what we have in the military, that safety and
Right.
security, and then we jump into the civilian sector, and now we have to figure out.
Where'd you go? Can you hear
I have
me?
a phone call. Am I back?
Oh yeah. That's
Sorry about
great.
that. I did
Yeah,
not get
no,
out
that's
as quick
perfect.
as I could.
And you made it happen. So I love your creativity here. So
Well,
let's
so, you know, when you're looking for civilian employment that helps you get the hours you want, the pay that you're looking for, a 401k, healthcare benefits that are all encompassing, um, eye care, dental, vision, all of that to help you take care of yourself, help you take care of your family. Maybe you're looking for a vacation. All of those benefits, not every civilian company offers that one right away, or even offers something that's fully comprehensive to what we were used to when we were serving in the military. So the great thing is, when you come to work for a company like Swift that's already established, we've got all of that figured out. It's going to be a really easy transition for you.
Yeah, and I mean I think that's what we all wrestle with, right? Is when you come out of service is okay, what do I want to be when I grow up? It's kind of like that question when you're a teenager. What do you want to do now that you're coming out of the military?
Yeah.
And unless you really spend a lot of time thinking about it in preparation, which most of us don't, let's be honest, right? I mean, we hit that 90-day mark, like, oh, wow, I'm getting out in 90 days.
Well, and I think we have an idea of what it
Right.
is, and you don't really know until you actually become a civilian. I know that was the case for me because I joined the Air Force right out of high school. So technically, I'd never had a real job before. I'd always
Right.
served.
Same with
So,
me. Yeah.
coming into the civilian marketplace looking for a job was really an eye opener for me. Everybody says, "Oh, you're a veteran. Everybody wants to hire you. You have this experience. You have this. You have this." And then I got out there and I discovered, yeah, a lot of people say that they want to hire veterans, but they don't really know what it means as a company for themselves. Maybe they haven't fully developed their veteran hiring program.
Right.
Maybe they don't really fully understand. I mean, there's a huge language barrier, if you will, between civilian skills and military skills and how to translate those over. So it can be a much bigger leap than I think a lot of people leaving the military are not ready for if they don't properly prepare. I mean, yeah, you mentioned 90 days. I honestly think if you're in that transitioning process of leaving the military, you need to start at a minimum a year out. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to
Absolutely.
start networking. You have to get a resume. You have to know what's out there. You have to know what your soft skills are. You really need to put yourself in a position to win, because it's really going to sneak up on you.
So how did you find? Because I remember when you first started with Swift, in the time that we've known each other. How did you find it coming in? Did you find that piece of camaraderie like we kind of had in the military? Is there a little military culture inside of Swift? I know we all tend to huddle up, right? Whether it's in society or
Yeah.
inside of corporations. But is there a little military culture going on inside of Swift? Can you talk to that?
So what's really great is Swift really made it a priority to make us a veteran friendly company. And when my role was developed and they knew that that was something that they wanted to do, I was really excited that they chose me to fulfill that role for the company. I, like just said, we definitely huddle up. I mean, as soon as you start talking to someone and you find out they're in the military, what branch were
Right.
you? What job were you?
The jokes start flying.
Yeah, like where'd you serve? Where'd you go? Like, I mean, that's just part of military culture. And I think
Right.
one of the things that made me feel really comfortable at Swift was when I first got out of the military, I thought I wanted small mom and pop, but like business. But what I really learned was I wanted a bigger corporation. That's just where I felt more comfortable because it was a lot more in line with what I was used to from the military. Um, there is a really good culture at Swift. I work at the headquarters in Phoenix, even though we're located all across the country. We have national calls. A lot of people, even though you might be in Kansas, you can still talk from Phoenix to Kansas and learn somebody very well and have that camaraderie with them. At the headquarters in Phoenix, they do a lot of fun events all the time. So it seems like there's always something happening to keep the atmosphere of the company happy. And we want to be team members and we want to help each other out. And that was just something that gave me a lot of comfort and made my transition into Swift really nice.
Well, and that's why I asked that question, because people, and that's why we're doing these types of video series, is to shed that light, because people don't really know about, all right, what's it like to work at Swift? What, now we're hearing it firsthand about the culture a little bit. I think culture fit is a lot what people are looking for these days.
Right. And I think sometimes people might be under the assumption too with our driving professionals, just because they're out there on the road and they might be by themselves, that they don't really get tied into that a lot, but they actually do. Our drivers are 100% a priority. You can talk to drivers day in and day out. There's so much driver support. We want to recognize our drivers. We want to, there's just a lot of fun activities behind the scenes that we do to recognize our veterans, to give them shout outs, and it can be nationwide. And it's kind of fun to learn who the drivers are out there on the road, include them in the things that we're doing. So it's important that we're putting our drivers first so that they know that they are a valued member here at Swift. That's so important to us.
Well, and likewise, that's a value to our American society. So like you said, you keep things moving, right? If the transportation industry ever stops, there's a lot that's going to go wrong out there in this world. So, but
I never thought that I would live in a time where I would walk into a grocery store and see every shelf empty. I've never experienced that in my lifetime. I never thought that I would go through that. And it was interesting for me that first day I walked into the grocery store and everything was empty. It was shocking. So it was comforting on the back end, being part of the industry and seeing what we were talking about internally as a company to make sure that we were getting things moving again. And it was a really interesting perspective. So I was glad to be a part of it. It was a learning experience. It made me appreciate so much what every single person at Swift does, from driving to, our customer service support. There's just so many people that are involved in getting products on the shelves that, I'm just really thankful for everybody in the transportation industry who does that for us.
Absolutely. I think that's a great place to stop here. And I just want to do a quick recap of everything we covered. I think this was an absolutely tremendous video. I appreciate you coming on. But you have scholarships available this is what I love about it. It's not just veterans, transition service member, reservists, but you get dependents and spouses. So this is key for us too, is marketing out there, is military spouses are also available to get in the Swift transportation industry. So
well, and it's so important because we recognize that spouses and dependents support their military member for the length of their career, wherever that may take them, and we want to honor them as well. Military spouses are just as important as our veterans. They give up a lot during the time that their veteran is serving, and they're supporting them. So supporting military spouses is absolutely important to us.
Well, and having a big footprint that you have opportunities all across America. And to round it out, I'll put in the links and descriptions below that people can access these opportunities. You can go to, which I'm so proud, we have you on the job board, after so much work and effort. I love that it finally came together. That was a big lift for all of us, right, to get that happening. But I appreciate those are showing up now on our job board at Vet Jobs. And you can talk to, follow the link below and you'll get access to, eventually you'll land in the world of Swift and talk to somebody. So any parting words, Nikki? I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Very insightful.
Yes, thanks for having us, and just thankful to all your veteran community that you guys have on your side of things, and we hope that we can help your veterans and your military spouses that are working with you guys. We hope we can help them out.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Dawn. You as well.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of Salute to Industry.
Absolutely. And to register for services and learn more about other employment opportunities, visit us on the web at vetjobs.org/jobs for veterans.